Hailey Dunn missing.
We started getting all over the place and started realizing that she was missing.
Timeline is so important on this case.
Where is Hailey Dunn?
In any missing persons case.
Where is this little cheerleader?
Categorized the girl as a runaway for the first 4 days.
Why would anyone ever believe she left voluntarily?
The investigation is ongoing.
There's no evidence of all of that.
They didn't get the dogs out here till 4 days later.
How many critical hours were lost?
I want her home. She's been gone too long.
Lost time in this case.
And they say after so long that she might not come home.
Not giving up until they find what they're searching for. 13-year-old Hailey Dunn.
Add to the lines, Rita in Texas. Hi, Rita.
Hi, Nancy. Glad to see you're doing better.
Thank you.
I have a question and then an afterthought.
Okay.
Since it's not been established that the boyfriend actually saw this girl that day, who had seen her prior to his claim, and would also like to just tell the ladies out there, really need to think hard and maybe think twice about meeting men over the internet. That's really not very safe.
Rita, I know that the last sighting was a little bit after noon. That would be 12 p.m. Neighbors observed her in the backyard talking on a cell phone. It was a disposable phone that she shared with her mother, and the cops have taken that and practically everybody else's cell phone just to see not that anyone is under suspicion, but to see who she was calling. Also, I learned that the mom met this guy 2.5 years ago on the internet. They've been dating all this time, and he just moved in 4 months ago. I want to go out to Mark Smith, retired detective, polygraph expert, VP at New Jersey polygraphist, joining us out of New York. Mark, what do you make of all this controversy about the polygraphs?
There's no controversy. It's used every day to solve criminal cases. The government depends on it for national security. There's no controversy. Obviously, something happened in the boyfriend's interview and or polygraph that diverted this investigation a certain way.
You know, that's very well put. And the mom is saying that right before she went to take her poly, the police said, well, your boyfriend just flunked. The police are saying, no, that didn't happen. But the words she used, Mark Smith, were that there had been deception indicated.
Failed.
Now, typically a layperson would not use that type of police language unless they had heard it.
That's police language for you didn't pass.
It didn't pass. Now, the police are saying that did not happen. I want to go to Dr. Jeff Gardier, psychologist, contributor at healthguru.com. Weigh in, Jeff.
Well, I think what's going on here is whether Hailey Dunn ran away or not, the police are making some real value judgments about the family dynamics. Perhaps the mom living with the boyfriend perhaps babysitting Hailey Dunn. But they probably believe there was some sort of dynamic that was going on that might be a possibility as to why this little girl might run away.
I want to go back to Jane Casares. Jane, what do you make of the allegations that the family and the live-in have had inconsistent statements?
Well, you know, I've been studying this, and here's one. I found an inconsistency, all right? Sean Adkins, and we heard it today from Billy Dunn tonight, she said that Sean Adkins said that he last saw Hailey at 3:15 back at their home. But the two young girls that law enforcement finally found today at the middle school, witnesses say they saw those girls walking with Hailey between 1 and 3. That's earlier that she was out of the house when the boyfriend said that he saw her at 3:15 when she said she was leaving to go spend the night at the little girlfriend's house.
You know what, Jane? If they saw her on Monday, you're right.
Yeah.
But the witness is saying they don't know if they saw them on Monday or Sunday. But here's the question. To Billy, had she been in school on Monday? Was she off for Christmas break?
No, she was out for Christmas break.
So it would be entirely possible for her to have been walking along with two little friends at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, and Sunday I was off of work. We all stayed home on Sunday.
So it was not Sunday that she was out walking with little friends?
I don't believe so.
It would
She could have been out. walking on Monday. Come home and said bye. Tell my mom I'm going.
So, you know, that really, right there, Jinkasaurus, if the mom was home with her all day the day before, that places her with the two little girls, in fact, on Monday. So that, if all of this is correct, that gives us another sighting later in the day. You just figured something out, Gene. That gives us another sighting other than the neighbor at noon of the little girl being alive and walking with friends between 1 and 3.
Right, but we haven't heard anything that she then went back home and the boyfriend saw her at 3:15. The boyfriend said he saw her and then she left and he never saw her again.
Mark Klass, let's hear more of your thoughts.
Well, I think that law enforcement, I agree with you, law enforcement is moving into the right direction. They're investigating multiple scenarios and multiple possibilities. They're looking at family, they're looking at friends, they're looking at the boyfriend, they're looking at strangers, registered sex offenders, etc.
Everybody, we are taking you very quickly to another story.
If I'm not mistaken, the other day when Billy went on Nancy Grace, she said, "I failed the polygraph." I believe those words were even streaming across the screen. I failed the polygraph. She never said deceptive when she opened up her mouth. She says, I failed the polygraph. And with the two little girls, if Hailey was walking with these two little girls between 1 and 3, that's a 2-hour gap. Nobody knows if it was at 1 o'clock. Nobody knows if it ended at 3 o'clock. So somewhere within those 2 hours, if it was on Monday, Hailey was seen with these two girls. At some point, she went home. At some point, Sean was home. If Sean arrived at 3 and Hailey arrived at 3:02 and then left at 3:15, that's very possible. I don't see that as being an inconsistent statement. It's just there's time lapse between when the two girls were seeing Hailey and when she got home and when she left. And I'm surprised more class he changed, because the other few times he was on, he was bashing law enforcement, and all of a sudden, you know, it was like a slap on the back, good job, well done. I don't know why they're not polygraphing the father. If they're going to do everybody, they should just polygraph him also. I don't know why he's not.